Okay, this one is for the rule geeks. If you're already a bit confused by the rules, maybe you want to sit this one out because I'm going to make a very simple situation complicated, unfortunately. But this is a situation that really happens, and it happened in our practice. So we have Pontus rounding the windward mark. I've made Pontus green for starboard, and we have Marco sailing in on the port ley line. So at first, Marco thinks he can just sail to the mark. Pontus cuts in front of him because he's on starboard. Why not? And Marco suddenly realizes that he can't make it in front of Pontus anymore, and so he has to do a very quick jam of the tiller to just miss Pontus here. He goes up into irons, flaps a little bit, recovers, and then sails around the mark. So that is how it should have played out. We have a starboard right-of-way boat, and then we have a port keep clear boat. So the boat is required to keep clear. But the reason this gets complicated is Rule 16.1, which says when a right-of-way boat alters course, so here right-of-way boat is turning, they're altering course, they have to allow the other boat room, in italics, to keep clear, in italics. So those are both special terms that you can find at the beginning of the rule book. So room says that in the current conditions, so it would be more room if it was windier or wavier, but in the current conditions, you have to have enough space to comply with your obligations to do whatever the rule tells you to do. Acting promptly and in a seaman-like manner. So it's this weird word seaman-like. So if Marco feels like he had to do something so drastic here that it was unseaman-like, trying to keep clear of green, he had to do something unseaman-like, then he could argue that Pontus broke 16.1. So I made Pontus do a circle, and he wasn't very happy about it. So Pontus, if this went to a protest, he could say, look, I'm the starboard boat, he's the port boat. I'm the right-of-way boat, he has to avoid me. I gauged that he would be able to avoid me, and he did avoid me. No rule is broken, no problem. And Pontus would probably win that protest because there was no contact. But technically, there doesn't need to be contact. So if these are keel boats, if these are America's Cup boats, right? And there's $1 billion on the line, they're really expensive, they're flying along, and then they skid out and people are in their life's danger or whatever, then it's more obvious that this right-of-way boat shouldn't have forced the keep clear boat to do an unseaman-like maneuver to avoid them. Unseaman-like isn't defined in the rules, so in lasers it's probably fine what happened here, and I was overzealous and Pontus is fine. But if Marco had tried to avoid Pontus and then hit him, it would be very hard for Pontus to win that protest. If they had actually hit, then Marco would have a very good argument to say, look, I tried, I made a seaman-like move, I pushed my tiller over, I had my sail pulled in, I tried to avoid the right-of-way boat, and I was unable to avoid the right-of-way boat because the right-of-way boat cut in front of me. So that's the protest that Marco would win. So if you are the starboard boat, when you're coming around and there's a port boat approaching, if the port boat's very close, you should really go behind them. If the port boat's a little bit further away, you can start turning, and then when the port boat gets close, it's a good idea to hold your course. That makes it easier for the port boat to predict what you're going to do, and also a lot harder for the port boat to win a protest. So you could say, I turned towards them, and then I held my course and allowed them, gave them room to keep clear, acting promptly in a seaman-like manner. The port boat doesn't have to be able to go around the mark. They just have to be able to avoid the starboard boat when they act promptly, seaman-like manner under the rules. So I'll attach the definitions of keep clear, room, and 16.1, so you can take a look at it for yourself. But yeah, if you are coming down, you have this moment. It's sort of like in the hallway where both boats turn both ways. The right-of-way boat is encouraged to just sail straight, and it's a lot stronger in the collision regulations at sea. But in the racing rules of sailing, the requirement for the right-of-way boat is to allow the give-way boat, the keep clear boat, room to do its obligation.